Hi, I'm your trainer, and we're going to discuss in the next few minutes what is document controlled and controlled documents. Often we have seen in organizations, we are looking for certain documents and we are unable to retrieve them either from the files or from the soft files. Why? Because the person who has stored it has not stored it correctly, or it's not been clearly defined where it needs to be stored. Or sometimes we see ship staff, using old formats, sending us reports on formats which are already revised, right? Or procedures, they use procedures which have already been amended with the new version, right? And sometimes we even have to request someone, where to find XYZ documents. So there's a lot of confusion and in document control. In fact, even OCIMF, in their TMSA and OBMSA versions have made a mistake in this document control topic, and we shall see that later what exactly, right? So the topics we include in this presentation are going to be what is the document and a record, why the need to control docs, what is documents and records of inside origin, outside origin, and what is the information that actually controls records and documents, what's a master list of documents, and what are the benefits of controlling documents, and finally, is there anything like an uncontrolled document and what exactly is that? So the idea is to clear the mist and the myth with regard to document control. We're also familiar with these stamps, they come in green color, red color, generally in any color other than black. These stamps have been used earlier, but however, the colored photocopying machines that have come in, the use of these stamps in red color or green color or any color other than black is almost something which is obsolete. Now it's not, we don't get to see, right? So now what's a document? Document is something that's live. Live means that's current, like a current publication of the ISM code, the SOLAS, or the maker's manual. These are all live documents, right? So why? Because they're called live because they're current. Yeah. And what's in fact even a SMS manual, a bridge manual is a live document. What is record? A record is historical, like deck logbook, and you can have certain other records. So that's history, which means once you write something on a format or fill up a logbook entry. Now, why do we need to control documents, right? Uh, Now, what are the so which every user in the organization is keen to know what are the documents in circulation in the office on the ships. That could be manuals, publications, makers manuals, drawings, how many copies are available on the ship or in the office, and whether these docs in use are current and they are not obsolete. That's very important, right? If documents are displayed, where are they displayed? If there are 5 displays for a policy, have they been displayed in the 5 locations, right? Or if it's less or more, then that's incorrect. Tracking changes. We often change documents, so users must know what is the latest version, what are of the revised documents. Hence, each document should have its unique identification and a revision number. As far as records are concerned, it's very important. Users should also know how long records are to be retained, right? So the term correctly, documents are to be maintained, right? Records are to be retained. Now, what are the documents of inside origin? Typically, internal origin could have companies, ISM, SMS, ISO manuals, company forms and checklists, files and folders, policies displayed, brochures and marketing literature. All company documents other than finance documents. Generally, finance has been kept out of management system documentation. Why? Because they have their own procedures, that are applicable based in the on the country in which they are based. So each country has its own regulations and requirements for finance documents. So charts, logbooks, all record books, masters and chief engineers, night orders, garbage log, familiarization manual, etc. All these type of things. These are documents of internal origin. What about documents of external origin? Makers manuals, SAI, CDI, PSC inspection reports, which are records, uh, lubricator manual, gas analyzer, operating manual, class status reports, so as MARPOL publications, so bill of lading, bunker delivery note. Now, these are external origin. Why? Because they originate outside your company. You're not the source. The company is not the source. Now, what exactly is the information that we control in documents? Every document should have a title, number, It should have an issue date, issued by, approved by, recipient, edition year applicable for SOLAS publications, makers manuals, IMO publications, all any other publications coming from outside source. How many copies are there in the organization? Where exactly are these stored or filed? That's for records. How long these records are. So have a look at this one. It gives you a summary of internal documents such as an SMS, like a bridge manual, revision number and date of the bridge manual, approved by whom, what are the distribution, how many recipients are there for this bridge manual copies. Internal documents, it could be as simple as, let's say, a familiarization checklist. So title and name, familiarization checklist. Where does it need to be stored, in which file, folder, soft or hard? Recipients or number of copies. This familiarization checklist has to be sent to which recipients in the office or on both the vessel. Retention period, how long it's got to be retained. Similarly, external documents, title or name like SOLAS publication, edition number of year, source, that's IMO, number of copies or location or distribution. Similarly, external records, such as, let's say, a PSC inspection report. Where is an inspection report to be stored? How many recipients, who are the recipients for this PSC inspection reports, and how long these PSC inspection reports have to be retained, how many years, months, or years. So typically there's this document, a very important document, which is termed as the master list of documents. It's there in some organizations, still maintain it. Now what I'm going to show you in the next 4 slides is what could be a format, and every organization can fine tune it and amend this format. So this is a very simple layout. And the first one is the list of vessels. The second is the list of company forms, the checklist, list of logs. You can have the list of displays, and so that suits convenience. Now this is the vessels, the name of the vessel. Now which manuals which vessel has, and how many copies. Office has how many of these. What's the document code or the unique identification. Then you have the forms. They're listed down. You have a form numbers, version numbers, date of issue, revision, the retention period. How long are we supposed to retain this? In which ships files or which office file? For checklists, very much similar to other forms. Then you have the company registers and logs, like tech logbook, bridge movement, compass observational logbook. So what are the version number of these formats? Sometimes these formats do change. So you need to have the version number, date, retention, how long are these logbooks to be retained, what are the location, and who's the person responsible. You can add a few columns to suit your internal. Now, benefits of control documents. All staff and employees would know which documents and records are in circulation, who are the current holders of these documents, whom to forward suggestions for amendments to any documents. They will have access to the latest version of documents. You will be preventing any incidents and non-conformities that may occur by use of obsolete procedures or obsolete format, obsolete checklists, right? They would also know how to file the document storage, be able to retrieve without wasting time. Very important. Documents, is a lot of time wasted to retrieve documents and records because of incorrect storage. Know how long they must be retained. However, there's a cautionary word out here. Though all documents should be controlled, practically this is not easy. Why? Because there will be docs on personal computers and laptops of employees that may not be listed in the master list of documents of the company. Now, there could be some hazards associated with the lack of 100% document control, and these need to be assessed by each company. So while the endeavor should be to reach 100% document control, but it's very unlikely because each one of us may be having certain documents received from XYZ source, and they are not on the master list of documents, but we still continue to use them for some reference purposes, etc., etc. The objective should be to minimize the use of uncontrolled or such documents which I would say are not being controlled. I won't use the word uncontrolled. But what exactly are uncontrolled documents? Something that's not in your control, that's uncontrolled. So something that is not listed in your master list, you are not aware of where it is, right? There should be no uncontrolled document within the documentation management system of a company. Permitting ship staff to print docs as uncontrolled or printed now is likely to create a possibility of its use on a later date, even after it has been revised, and could thus lead to occurrence of incidents and non-conformities. So what exactly are uncontrolled documents? They are these documents which go out of a company's management system and over which your company does not have any control, such as when we pass a copy of a company's policies or to an outsider, or a UKC policy to an outsider. So that becomes a document which is no more under your control, right? Any other similar documents that you may pass on to your charterers or whatever for reference purposes, those documents, unless your charterers have requested you to provide them a controlled copy. In fact, the TMSA element 1A 1.5, the TMSA 2017 version, in 1A 1.5, they list down a best practices management of uncontrolled documents. It's incorrect. The requirement itself is incorrect. I communicated this, my point of view, to the OCMF, and they do acknowledge that it seems to be that they do agree that there isn't anything like an uncontrolled document, and they also acknowledge the fact the risks associated using the uncontrolled document. They are going to review this requirement when they revise the TMSA next, and what exactly they need to change. I have suggested to them to remove the words Uniform November and just keep management of controlled documents, because shipping companies do have problem of controlling documents. Management of uncontrolled documents actually would mean controlling uncontrolled documents. So it's quite absurd, and because you would be controlling your controlled documents and controlling uncontrolled. So in fact, you are controlling uncontrolled documents. It's a complete pot of confusion, right? So my background, and I do hope that this presentation has facilitated in your understanding the document control and control documents and the benefits with this. Thank you very much, and I'll be putting down a few more topics addressing related risk management, incident investigation, root cause analysis, auditing, and a few things coming soon. Right? Thank you very much. Bye bye.